Hello, welcome to another AMA, this time for July 2022. I'm Snooki as usual. It's been very hot this month. I wish my hair was as short as it is in that image, but alas. That said, let's get into things here with the first batch of questions from Aquasun. The first question is, what is something that you got into way after everyone had already moved on? The closest I can think of is maybe Three Houses, but the community is still pretty strong, especially with Three Hopes just having come out. But honestly, most things I get into are late and have died down a bit, but I've never quite found anything where people have fully moved on. Like, I always feel like I've found at least some sort of community, you know, so... The next question is, are you a completionist in games? Not really. I'll go out of my way here and there, especially if I really like a game, but if a sequence is more trouble than it's worth, I don't bother, typically. Basically, I usually pick up what I can along the way, but I mostly finish rather than complete. I'd say most games I go like the 80% mark, and then that last 20% is like the, you know, small window side quests, you know, the things that you have to do a bunch of tedious things for, you know, etc. That said, again, if I really like the game, then there's a way higher chance I'll complete it because, you know, all those little tasks are just more excuses to play it more. The next question is, the most obscure show you can remember watching and liking? I doubt most people will even know what this is, but Daigata Defenders. It was a Canadian television show, followed these kids that are the titular Daigata Defenders. I don't even know how to describe it. They were, like, chosen, you know, heroes to fend off whatever the evil force was. It was so long ago, I don't even remember what it is. But they fight with, like, dice, where each of the dice have, like, different symbols on them, and then depending on how the symbols go together, different attack will happen, and they had, like, familiars and stuff, but sometimes the dice would roll wrong, and you'd get, like, a backfire or something, and it sounds really weird, but I was really into it when I was a kid, and I feel like not too long ago, like a few years back, I watched a few episodes, and I was still, like, jiving with it, so I might find that and watch that again with this question coming up. The next question, hard mode, between Platonism and Nominalism, which metaphysical worldview do you lean more towards? So Platonism is the view that there exist such things as abstract objects, where an abstract object is an object that does not exist in space or time, which is therefore entirely non-physical and non-mental, or nominalism, the ontological theory that reality is only made up of particular items, denies the real existence of any general entities such as properties, species, universal sets, or other categories. I wrote down, I thought nominalism, but now that I read that again, probably more Platonism, because I don't deny the existence of, you know, properties and species and stuff. I think those are, you know, they exist. So I guess Platonism truly is hard mode. I feel like I'd have to do more than just general Google searches of the definitions to really answer that, but yeah. The next set of questions comes from Hannah Page. The first one being, would you marry any of your OCs? My answer is no. That's not to say that they're not marriage material, but I think of them like kids, so it's weird to consider that, you know? So the next question is there a game, series, or genre that you wished you could get into, but just didn't have the will or desire? For the most part, not really. The closest answer I could give is maybe some first-person shooters or just shooters in general. Like, Metroid and Splatoon have always seemed interesting, but I just can't play those types of games. Like, they're just not for me. I think one of my comics recently pointed out that like anything coming at the camera fast like freaks me out. So especially not first-person shooters, I just can't do that. This next question is a unique one, and I will say probably not one that I will do much more in the future, but just this one time I'll try it out, and it's a math question, so I'm gonna actually flip over here. I hope that the sides don't look too weird, but I don't want to adjust this because it is, how I do my normal streams, but it's solve for x. You can see I got bedmass there as a reminder, so brackets first, which would be, oh god, I haven't done math in so long. So it's basically like this. I really have not done math in a long time. I feel like I solved this on a different day, and then I just kind of ignored it. So 2, 8. I'll try not to go too long either. I'm showing my work. That's why I'm doing it this way. So I didn't just like say, oh, it's this. I'm supposed to do division next, but I'm just gonna go. Oh, if I get it wrong, please don't like. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. So this would be 22 plus 18 is 40. So 40. Man, I don't know. I feel like I did when I did this before, because I did it when I first got the question. I got a different answer than this. Oh, this is not right. It's not right, but I'm just gonna go with it because I don't want to spend too long on this. X equals blah blah blah. And if it is right, oh, cool. Neat. But yeah, again, just like, if it's wrong, I don't need to know. I haven't done math in years, so like, sure. X equals 1/7. Let's go with that. Probably not right, but there's my attempt at it. Also, it is almost 11 p.m. where I am, so, I hope that wasn't just an attempt to get me to do your homework. Anywho. So yeah, I'm not really gonna do math in the first place, after this. So next question is, do you have a favorite quote? The first one that pops to mind is, there's always a chance of success. And if there isn't any, I'll just have to make one. From, of course, The World God Only Knows. That one really sticks with me as just sort of this denying, I guess fatalism, or, that feeling of like, oh, it's impossible, can't do it. It's like, oh, if there's not a chance, I'll make one. It's just, I just love that, like, mindset. Next question, and last question from Hannah is, let's say there's a button. If you press it, you'll be able to will your hair into any style and color you want. But whenever you want to change your hair, you have to get yourself a buzz cut and wait 24 hours for it to grow in. Do you press the button? Sure. If there's no downsides other than the buzz cut, that's no problem. Other than I don't know how to do a buzz cut, so I'd have to learn that first. But otherwise, 24 hours is no problem. And like, who knows? Maybe I'll look good with a buzz cut. I don't know. So the last set of questions is from Gaku. The first question being, have you ever played any of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games? And if so, did you ever cheat to get the Pokemon you wanted? I have not, and I feel like I wouldn't cheat to get the Pokemon that I wanted because I actually like the surprise in sort of quizzes like that. I like to see what I'm given and then work with that. And the last question is, what's the longest you've gotten stuck in a game? This one was kind of a tough one because it would have had to have been like a game from a while ago before internet walkthroughs, existed. Because, if I get stuck after a certain amount of time, I just look it up because I don't want to sit there and just like struggle, right? Probably the closest thing would be me and my friend were playing Donkey Kong 64 and trying to go for 100%, so the Beaver Brothers is probably the longest I've been stuck. Though otherwise, anything more recent, possibly the Phoenix Fight and Origami King, I hated that. And yeah, that's it for July's questions. So we're going to head over to the end screen here. Links are going to be in the description for some of my patrons' shoutout links. You can see them scrolling on the screen here with their NPCs that show up in my comics. Such is the rewards that you get for supporting me over there on Patreon. Everything is always appreciated, these questions included. If you want to ask some questions, that is another perk that you get from being a patron. And that starts all the way from like just $1. You don't need anything more than that. You can ask up to 5 questions. But yeah, there will be links for all of that below in the description, as well as links to my other social media. I think I'm going to have the comic guide in there as well, so you can read and find all the comics I've done. Over 1,700 at this point. But yeah, big thanks as always for everyone for support and for watching this through. It's always fun to answer these questions. We get some unique ones all the time. But yeah, I'll see you guys next month.